In this episode, 30 years of experience bring up some surprising conclusions. You were saying that those are pretty good results, right?
For an old standard 308 engine, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
I do some more investigating and finally get your opinions on the InfluEnzo. Do you think that I will ever be able to fix this car properly? Hello everybody, welcome to number 27. I'm Jack and this is the Unfixable InfluEnzo. Now today Mick from QV in London is meeting me in Oxford in Woodstock at Anton's place to do a proper leak down test on the InfluEnzo. Why is this important? I tried to do one in a previous episode and I failed miserably because my equipment was pretty much pants. Now Mick has over 30 years experience with these cars, so this is going to be really interesting because not just is he going to be able to do the test, but he's done thousands probably of these leak downs, so he knows exactly what he should be getting. Plus he'll just be able to have a look around, get a bit of a feel, see what it's doing, and give us an idea of what is going on with the InfluEnzo. I think he might do a compression test as well. So Mick's arrived and he's tucking in to the InfluEnzo. Delighted to be here.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, it's all right. It's a nice day to be out and about, so it's
yeah.
okay.
Could be worse, I suppose. Yeah, it'd be interesting when you take these plugs out and you can see the state of them, and these only have about 110 miles on them. So they're not. It hasn't been running for that long.
Looks a bit oily.
Yeah. No, definitely. And they get a lot worse. If you leave them on, it becomes like sort of a black tarry sand.
Yeah, it's because it gets sooted and then you get oil with the soot.
Right. Oh, I see. So it's the soot that forms the actual sort of sandy bit, the powdery bit.
That's why it looks so black.
Yeah. What we're doing next, well, what Mick's doing, first of all is a compression test just to get some sort of basic readings on that side. Afterwards, we're going to do the leak down test. But we've had a look at the plugs and it seems that the front bank are particularly oily and the rear bank actually look like they are sooty rather than oily. Although I have to say in the past they had also been a bit oiled, which is odd. But let's see what happens. And when I did my compression tests, cylinder 6, if you guys remember, that was reading 130, 140, whereas the others were all reading up towards 175. So it'll be interesting to see what Mick gets on his.
Tease afterwards.
Right. Okay, ready to go?
Yeah.
Right, so the cylinder 6, which I was getting 130 on and I thought was bad, was 160. So far then, Mick?
Yeah, everything's good.
Everything's good, isn't it?
Yeah, the only thing I've seen that I don't like is the puff of smoke when it starts.
The results that Mick has got is 160 on all of them, 150 on cylinder 4, which I think Mick says is actually really good. Mick, yeah, you were saying that those are pretty good results, right?
For an old standard 308 engine, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Right, Mick's just getting top dead centre there on cylinder 1, using the old screwdriver for that.
Yeah, do it by feel. Right, now what we've got to do
Brilliant.
is make sure, where's me? Where will I put that? I'll put it down somewhere.
What are you looking for?
The attachment.
There? Oh no, so the attachment for, to go in the
To go in the plug hole.
Go in the plug hole.
Right. It's out here somewhere. I've taken the valve out of it.
Here it is, Mick, I think.
Yeah, so now all we've got to do, that is TDC, but it could be TDC on compression, or it could be TDC on overlap. But so all you've got to do, and that's on overlap,
Oh, you can tell by blowing
you blow
into
through it. Both
and
the
if it
valves
blows,
are
then it means
easy.
it's right.
If you can't blow it easy,
Yeah.
it's on compression. So we will bring it to compression, I think.
Yeah.
And we'll do it each in turn, I think, rather than dancing around with it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if it's 1 or 4; they both come up at the same time. And if they don't, you have another problem. And then all you do is plug her in and read the leak off, and make sure that you've got to watch that the engine doesn't turn. It hasn't turned, and we have 2, 4, about 5% leakage, which is good.
Which is really good.
A very good leakage. 5% leakage. Okay. And 100% I trust these.
Okay.
I use this all the time, do so many cars. So what was that, 5%?
Yeah.
What you got?
I'm just looking, so hold on there. That's they're not turning, and it is fucking on
very good. 2%?
2% or something.
Yeah, well, that's good. Nothing wrong with that, is there?
The results have all been really, really good. We'll talk about those in a moment, but in the meantime, Mick's just going to show me again what happens when there is a leaky valve by slowly turning it over as it's plugged into the machine.
Yep, that's on. So we've got 2-3%.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Now if I turn it over,
yeah.
So actually the cam is going to start to open the valve. The piston's going to go down, so we're going to lose a bit anyway.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's gone right to...
As soon as I started turning it, what's happened is the air pressure's turned it. But if you listen now, that's with valves open.
Yeah.
You can hear it.
Yeah.
Can you hear it down at the exhaust?
No, I can hear it on the machine. Oh yeah, you can hear it down at the exhaust?
You can hear it, and you'll hear it at the exhaust. So if you took the top of the airbox off,
you'd hear it there
throttles,
as well.
you'd hear it coming out the throttles.
Right.
So as soon as you open the valves, it goes to maximum leakage.
Right, so we've got it, and what results have we got, Mick? So we've got, the compression is great, 150 on all, and then the leak down's also very good. Yeah,
so it's holding gases and compressions in each cylinder. Your issue isn't from the way the valves seat, the way the rings seat. Your issue is from something else. When I arrived and we started up, it had a big puff of smoke from startup. Valve guides. So now, even if the valve guides are worn, the valves will still seat well, because the head of the valve goes into a taper. It finds its own seat. In time, that will wear. But your issue, I think, is this head, because this head, the plugs were oily, that head they weren't. I think you need to take that head off and have a look at the guides.
Which is what I was planning to do.
Guides and stem seals.
So the other thing is, do you not think it's not, you don't think it could be the oil control rings that are gummed up?
Not personally.
No?
No.
Right.
The reason you get oil on startup is that them guides are leaking oil from the heads.
So they drop it in while you wait.
The oil drips in, drips in, drips in, drips in.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you start it up, it opens the valves. Well, the oil drops in from the valves. It will suck it in from the inlets. And that's where you burn the initial puff of oil smoke.
Okay.
No, I personally still think you have an issue with this head.
Right, well, let's see what happens. Well, this head has to come off anyway.
Well,
so that's one
looking
thing.
at the plugs, that's, I don't think I mixed them up, but they're oily.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on my fingers.
Yeah.
It is. It's oily. These are sooty dry.
Yes.
They're sooty dry. Look, that's sooted, but it's bone dry. It's not oily, and that's dry. That actually is a good mixture.
Yes.
You got that one right. That one's not that bad.
Yeah.
Them two aren't so, but you know, they're dry. They're not wet. These, again, we'll go back and we'll look at them.
Yeah.
Look, they're shiny. They're oil wet.
Yeah.
They have an issue. So I think this head is where you got the issue.
A look. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Thank you so much for coming down, Mick. I really appreciate it. The more I look into this car, and the more confused I get. So I had really completely accepted that there was a problem with the bottom end. But now Mick seems to think that it's much more likely that it is a problem somewhere with the top end. And so I also just did I had a look with my borescope again at the tops of the intake valves. I had done this a few months ago, but I wanted to double check because Mick was so certain something was going on. And on the intake valves, you can see, I don't think there's any signs of oil that I can see that's coming from there. Having said that, it is actually the bottom, it is the exhaust valves. Because it's a V, it is the exhaust valves on each side where the oil actually pools. On top, on the intakes, it sort of runs off. So I think that at the bottom there's more oil pooling, and it is more likely that it would be coming through the exhaust valves. I can't see those until I take the manifold off, the exhaust manifold, which I don't want to do at the moment. So anyway, I think what this all comes down to, once again, is that that rear head is going to come off. Now I've got a couple of videos that I have to film with this car first. One of them I think is going to come up soon, and it's how far can a Ferrari 308 go on £10 worth of fuel nowadays, which I think is quite current. And in the same video I'm going to compare it to how far an electric car, probably a BMW i3, can go on £10 worth of electricity. So that should be just quite a fun video. Anyway, I've got to do that, and then that rear head is coming off, and if there's nothing wrong with that, then the engine's going to come out. Right, first viewer, this is Tristan. He's seen the InfluEnzo and stuff. What do you make of it now that you've seen it in the flesh?
I think it's such a lovely looking car, honestly. It's proper iconic. Yeah, I love the Ferrari, especially Magnum. Yeah, and it's so clean. It really is such a clean car.
Do you think it will ever be fixed?
I honestly hope it will. I think it will. I'm sure you have the talent to do it.
You've seen it on the videos.
But yeah, absolutely.
You've seen what a pain it is.
Yeah.
How crap it is.
Yeah.
Now that you see it in the flesh, is it as bad as you thought?
No, not at all.
Be honest. Well, it looks shiny, but you know what's going on underneath, right?
Absolutely. It's what's part of the joy of the ownership of a classic, right? I mean, it's a bottomless pit.
But most importantly, do you think it will ever be fixed?
No, of course not. It's a classic Ferrari.
I think this is the first time you've seen the InfluEnzo in the flesh.
In the flesh, out in the open.
What do you make of it?
It's fantastic. I've always loved this shape of car.
Yeah.
And I've been following you ever since you've got it, and it's been such a fantastic story.
The crucial question is,
yes,
do you think it will ever be fixed? Be honest.
Be honest. Knowing you, yes.
Ah,
yes.
Okay. Misplaced faith, I think, there. But anyway, yeah.
Well, it's beautiful in the flesh, Jack, but boy oh boy, have you got perseverance for keeping this thing going. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, buddy. And the most important thing, do you think it will ever be fixed?
Probably not. It's a journey, not a destination.
I have.
Now that you've seen it in the flesh, what do you make of it?
I absolutely
Be
love
honest.
it. No, I love it. It's the GTS is my favourite. The 308 GTS is my favourite Ferrari.
And crucially, do you think, and be honest, that I will ever fix this car?
I don't know. It's one of those things where you never really truly fix a classic car, do you? And there's always going to be a list of things. So maybe one day.
In the light, what do you think of it in the flesh?
It's fantastic.
It does look amazing.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
The crucial question is, what I want to know is, am I ever going to be able to fix it? And be honest.
Yes.
I think it's 50-50. But I've got faith in you.
An honest man. Misplaced faith.
Misplaced.
I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. It's a beautiful looking car, probably one of the best ones I've ever seen. From a looks point of view.
From a looks point of view.
Yeah.
And most importantly, do you think it will ever be fixed? And be honest.
No.
Never.
No.
What do you think of the InfluEnzo now you've seen it in the flesh?
I can't believe it's not running, given that when you look at it and see it in person, I can't believe you paid for it what you did.
It does look pretty, right?
It does, it looks fantastic, yeah.
Crucially, do you think it will ever be fixed?
I'm sort of hoping not, secretly.
Now that you've seen the InfluEnzo in the flesh, how does it compare to what you're expecting, having seen the videos?
Well, it's utterly beautiful, and it's actually in far better condition than I really thought it would be, and it's an exquisite example of its age, I think.
Most importantly, do you think it will ever be fixed?
I think beauty is only skin deep, though, and I don't think you're ever going to get it fixed. But you're a brave man for keep trying, and you've got real resilience. So hats off to you.
Having seen it in the flesh, what are your thoughts?
I'm super impressed that was the cheapest Ferrari available. It's from here looking immaculate.
Yeah, the same. The bodywork and the shine and everything is a lot better than it looks in the videos, actually. So yeah, very impressed.
So that is proof that looks can deceive. So crucially, guys, I want to know from both of you, do you think that I will ever be able to fix this car properly?
I'm secretly hoping you don't, because I want the saga to continue,
Yeah.
and I'm loving the story, but yeah, I think you can.
I'm about the same, actually. I do want you to fix it, but I don't want you to stop posting about it and videoing it, because it's good to watch.
Right, now this is James. He's seen a few of the InfluEnzo videos. and he's going to tell us what he thinks. So now you've seen it in the flesh, James, what do you think of this car? Does it look good, or what do you reckon?
It looks like a rose.
It looks like a rose. That's the first time I've ever heard that one. That's brilliant. And most importantly, do you think, James, that this car will ever be fixed? Be honest, it's fine. Whatever you think.
Yes, because I don't even think it's broken.
You don't even think it's broken? Oh, crikey. Brilliant. Thank you so much for coming down.
Bye.
Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for being so patient. Honestly, I know it gets frustrating. I'm frustrated with this car, and it's this and that, and I've been doing bits and bobs, but we will get there eventually. So again, thank you so much, and see you for the next video.